You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
Charlie. It is the start of a new league year. So we're officially in the 2024 season, which means we are in season 5 of Go Time Dolphins. Before we truly delve into that, peek behind the curtain. Charlie, what time did you say we were recording today?
11 o'clock London time?
Yeah.
Hold on. What time is it right now?
It's 10:35 p.m.
Oh, see, that's because of the time the clocks went forward or back or something.
Yep, so
forward. They went forward.
So our clocks didn't change. So when you called me saying I'm 4 minutes out, I was like, for what? Like, it's not 11 o'clock yet. Like, I'm sitting down eating, I'm chilling.
Bro, you could have told me I was out here zooming around, rushing and stuff, bro. Like, you could have been, hey, bro, like, I forgot about that. When y'all clocks change? when your clock switch up?
Probably in like a few weeks. I don't know. It wasn't you said that you're 4 minutes away. I was like, oh, like it's not an issue though. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on YouTube. If you're watching over on Twitter Live or X Live, come join us on YouTube. Leave a like, jump in the comments like Mr. Fanatic has done. Shout out Mr. Fanatic. And yeah, Charlie, new season, but not to copy our friends over at Dolphins Talk. Same old Dolphins. So yeah, Charlie, how are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. Kadeem, last episode, Dolphins had like a little slow start in free agency, and things kind of started picking up just a little bit. Wiggle it. Just a little bit. My dog got that stuck in my head. Now I don't know. You probably don't know nothing about that, Kadeem. But anyway. So free agency is up and moving now. Derrick Henry has signed to the Ravens. You got some pretty cool transactions going on. I think Keenan Allen went to the Bears. Is that accurate?
Yeah, for like a 4th round pick.
Yeah, it's some interesting things. But not only that. You got people on social media playing agent themselves, talking about, hey, this be a pretty cool combination. And the cheetah, their little social media surfing and invoked the name Michael Thomas. How you felt about that, Kadeem?
Cheetah's been all over the place. He had a conversation, or you mentioned Michael Thomas. And then Hunter Renfrow, who recently got released by the Raiders, he was like, yo, let me kind of get in on this. And he was like, hey, I set up a meeting between like me, you, and Mike. I think might have been Limbo Jr. message like Jalen Waddle to like come back. And like, again, it's everyone wants to come to Miami. It's a case of players feel like they have unfinished business, or they want to be a part of a team which looks like it is at the very least going to the playoffs. So yeah, Michael Thomas he's a player that you mentioned before. For the right price, why not? Because of all the moves the Dolphins have made so far in free agency, which we'll get to shortly, I don't think we've signed a wide receiver. And that there's still time. You know, it's not like the season starts tomorrow, but you would have thought that the Dolphins would have been able to come to terms with at least 1 or 2 wide receivers to kind of like put them in a situation where they don't head into the draft and people think they want wide receiver. Unless that's the plan, so then people jump up ahead of them and the guy they actually want falls. Who knows?
So just for clarification, I believe Tyreek Hill was on Twitter and was chatting with Hunter Hunter Renfrow, but I think it was a fake Hunter Renfrow account. Was it not? I think he got hoodwinked by the fake Hunter Renfrow. I want to say Hunter Hurst. Hunter Hurst. I keep almost saying it. You know what I'm saying? That's the WWE in me. But so anyway, regardless of all that, bro, when I invoked the name Michael Thomas a couple weeks ago, I'm like, it can work. He's not supposed to be getting paid $20+ million anymore. He doesn't stay healthy enough to secure a legitimate contract that of his desire, and we have a need for a big. So I'm like, yo, Michael Thomas is a dude. And then the internet ran with a comparison: Michael Thomas or Mike Williams. I don't believe we can afford Mike Williams, but out of the two, who would you take, Mike Williams or Michael Thomas?
Isn't Mike Williams? I feel like he's been picked up already.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. Obviously, I know he left the Chargers. I thought someone picked him up. Nope, he's still available. I'd probably go. I think my issue with both of them is that they're somewhat injury prone, or they get quite a few injuries. And I think the Dolphins can't really afford to bring someone in who has had quite a few injuries, if that makes sense. Like,
I mean, that's what we do. That's what we do.
But and that's the thing. It's like, it's what we do. But then we get to the end of the season when everyone's banged up, and it's like, why are we surprised that we're a banged up team when we sign banged up players? So I kind of feel like we should get away from that. But if you were to strap me down and, you know, waterboard me to try and get me to,
Kadeem, nobody wants to strap you down, bro. I'm just saying. that's not what we're not trying to do that here.
Well, I was gonna say like gun to my head, but I just didn't want to evoke, you know, a gun reference. So no,
but y'all even got guns in England.
Okay, and a knife to my throat, like it is what it is. I'd probably go Mike Williams. I think I also like, is it Michael Thomas, like Mr. Slant or whatever it is?
So he actually don't like the name Slant Boy is what they call him. But I ain't gonna lie, Tua is that dude for them routes. You know what I'm saying? He is that intermediate route quarterback. And hey, man, you went Michael Williams, I went Michael Thomas. I would like to see one of them. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I think it's fantasy world anyway. I don't think it happens. I don't think neither one of them happen.
Yeah. So like Williams is 6'4". Michael Thomas is, let's have a look. How tall is Michael Thomas? Michael Thomas
6'2"?
is
6'1", but he plays bigger.
Apparently 6'3".
Yeah, I think he's listed at 6'3", but he plays bigger. I don't think he's actually 6'3", but we'll do it.
Yeah,
we'll allow it.
Do you know what? So I think Tyreek Hill did get done by a fake Hunter Renfrow account, but I wouldn't mind seeing Hunter Renfrow. Like, dude's nice in the slot, like excellent route runner.
You don't think we did that last year though? Like the all sub 6 foot receivers. You know what I'm saying? Waddle, Hill, Braxton. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really just a Braxton Berrios upgrade when you talk about Hunter Renfrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what we really trying to do?
I think it's what the Dolphins are more likely to do. Again, it's, you know, there's a genuine Chase Claypool for all of his size just didn't quite work out, and I think that Mike McDaniel, for what he wants to run, likes the somewhat smaller, shiftier guys. There's probably a genuine conversation about, you know, getting a big body to throw those contested catches, but let's be honest, we all know that no matter who's on the field, it's going to be a fade route to Tyreek Hill in the end zone. So I just, you know, let's.
No, bro. Yeah. No. What's the name that we just signed? Former Kansas City Chief, tight end.
Oh, is it Jody?
We need to get a name right though. Got to get a name right.
Tyreek Hill just tweeted about him.
Right. So we brought in Jonnu Smith, formerly of the Atlanta Falcons. He used to play for the Tennessee Titans. Did Jonnu Smith go to the Patriots? I think he went to the. I think he had a stop in the Patriots for like a midnight snack. He was in New England for a midnight snack. But yeah, I thought it was Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith went to the Patriots together in the offseason. I could be mistaken.
He spent 1 year with the Patriots. So he left the Titans, joined the Patriots in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 1 season, joined the Falcons.
So what's the name of the Titan? The Chiefs tight end? Do we got his actual?
Jody Forston.
Bro, listen. I like this dude, bro. I'm not even lying to you. I like this dude. Just the film, and from what I understand, he got hurt and he wasn't active for Kansas City. And like Kelsey's over there. Was he really ever going to replace Kelsey? I get it. Tyreek, out of all the signings, Tyreek sounded like maybe social media could have took it for sarcasm, but he was dead serious. He's like, oh, no, this is the signing I was waiting on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie. Then you watch this film. I'm like, bro, Jonnu Smith and Jody Forston, is it?
Yeah, Forston, Fortson.
Oh, that's your accent saying for us. All right. So Jody Breeze, bro. Listen, when you see this dude tape, I think both are upgrades from the tight ends that we've had in the past. You know, I love me some Mike Gesicki. He's a different kind of tight end. He's not Mike Gesicki is a big slot receiver. He'll tell you himself, and he'll also tell you that he's not a jet sweep kind of guy. My favorite quote of the Mike Gesicki career was, "Do I look like a jet sweep kind of guy to you?"
even if that ball was badly snapped or whatever, the fact, like it was. Continue.
Bro, do you remember that game, bro? You remember who we were playing when it happened?
Was it the Patriots?
I feel like it was the Chiefs or the Bills. It felt like I feel like it was
it might have been the Bills. Let's have a look.
I feel like it was a formidable opponent that we are in striking distance. We're close in this game. It's the Brian Flores era, ERROR. You know what I'm saying? And everything was just all bad. You know, Tua hit us with the operation just got to be cleaner. And Mike Gesicki, the ball was snapped. Obviously, timing was off. And Mike Gesicki went on the post-game conference, and someone asked, "Hey, was that supposed to be for you?" And Mike Gesicki, with all his giraffe-like emoji abilities, it was like, "Do I look like a jet sweep kind of guy to you?" Bro, I wish we could have got him on the podcast to ask him about that, bro. That's my favorite all-time quote from Mike Gesicki.
It was the Bills, 26-11 win for the Bills, and the Dolphins fell to 1-7. Like, wow.
26-11, and we fell to 1. So I guess that was Flo's first year.
Yeah, but I'm reading up now. It's like, I think the Dolphins were driving down the field, got to the red zone before half.
You said 1-11 or 1-7?
1-7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, and we were in that game too. I felt like we were in that game.
It was. If I remember correctly, it was like we had, again, somewhat Dolphins fashion. You have momentum going into the half, and you just do something. It's like, well, that's the game done. But shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to Cap for Life. Said, gentlemen, he asked, do you go another 6'6" tight end perhaps, or do we stick with the Renfro vibe? We were just chatting about that. Shout out to the Great Fins fan. They ask, what FA wide receiver would be an option for wide receiver 3 position?
Bro, I think, I don't know if we did it in our Patreon. Shout out to all of our Patreon subscribers, all of our patrons. You feel me? We rock with you. Got some new content coming for you right after this, actually. Listen, I think I've been on the same name. We already just talked about that name, and it was Michael Thomas. Hit us up on Patreon. You got more content about that question right there. And we already kind of touched on it. But shout out to Mike Gesicki. He went to the Bengals. So Mike Gesicki, Joe Burrow combination. Shout out to Mike Gesicki. Gets a lot of love here, former Miami Dolphin. But what else do you see us doing as far as the receiving core? And when we say receivers, I'm talking about tight ends and receivers. I mean, who we got on the roster right now? Like, legit. You know what? Let's go wide receivers, Kadeem. who's on the roster right now? Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Eric Ezukama. Is that
I
it?
think that's it. Cedric Wilson's going to the Saints. Braxton Barrios hasn't been re-signed.
Yep.
Chase Claypool hasn't been re-signed.
Hey, listen. Chase Claypool come down with that touchdown in the corner. He might have a job right now. I ain't gonna lie. What game was that? What game was that? Titans game maybe? That?
It feels like the Titans.
Oh no, it might have been Baltimore. I feel like it was one of those.
Bro, it was Baltimore.
It was Baltimore. See, look at that, bro. We were down. Matter of fact, it was Baltimore, bro. Like if Chase Claypool come down with that catch, bro, dog got a job. No, not bad talking Claypool at all. I actually think he has some potential, actually, and he might end up coming back. If I'm being real with you, for pennies on the pound, because they got pounds in England, and we got dollars over here.
Looking at Wikipedia, they've got Eric Ezekama, Tyreek Hill, Braylon Sanders, Anthony Schwartz, Matthew Sexton, and Jalen Waddle. And I'm pretty sure Matthew Sexton isn't a real player. So,
but all those boys. All right, let me reserve. A lot of them boys are going to be practice squad players, though.
Matthew Sexton came into the league as an undrafted free agent in the 2020 draft with the Steelers. Then spent 2022 with the Chiefs. No, signed by the Chiefs in January, released by them in June. Played for the Vegas Vipers in the XFL. Had 8 games, 23 receptions, and 326 receiving yards. Then last August, signed with the Falcons. Was with the Falcons for 26 days. Went to practice squad. Then went to the Patriots practice squad, lasted a day, and the Dolphins picked him up January 17th with a future contract. So,
bro, someone on Twitter, one of the the Dolphin community people on Twitter was like, Dolphins are putting themselves in a position to go best available in the draft. Can't remember who said it, my bad, but it was a notable in the Dolphins community. He said, or they said, Dolphins are putting themselves in a really good position to go best available in the draft. And if you look at it, Kadeem, that's a legit tweet because you need O-line. I don't want to say receiver is a need, but you need depth at receiver. And you know how I missed out on 20K Cam last year? For everybody who doesn't know, we have a pick'em segment, gambling segment on here on Go Time Dolphins. It's the offseason. We don't have nothing to gamble on right now. But I'm the gamble dude, right? The gamble guy, right? Matter of fact, we got a new segment coming out called Charlie C Note. You know what a C Note is, Kadeem?
Is it 100?
Very good, Junior Grasshopper. Hey, my guy. So look, anyway, so I was here. Cam Smith was drafted by the Miami Dolphins in the second round, and I wanted to put $500 down on the Miami Dolphins drafting a defensive back. There were some really good prop bets on one of the betting platforms, and I almost went CJ Stroud as a second quarterback. CJ Stroud selected second overall, and I didn't do it. And then there was like this just plus 2,000. Like, I'm like, yo, I don't know. Matter of fact, listen, I'm gonna put $500 down on the Dolphins drafting a DB. I did not drive to the state line because the state I was in, I couldn't gamble. So the state line was only a few minutes away. Stayed in the confines of my own home. I'm like, I'm straight. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep my $500 or $400. I can't remember what it was, and I can't remember what the line was.
I think it was 500.
And I didn't do it. Lo and behold, the draft comes on, and the Dolphins select Cam Smith, and that's how Cam Smith got his name on this podcast as 20K Cam, because I missed out on $20,000 because I didn't drive to the state line. So 20K Cam is a Miami Dolphin. We can't wait to have him on the podcast so I could tell him his nickname. But if there's a prop bet for the Miami Dolphins taking the receiver in the first round, I'm putting $500 on it. Y'all heard it here on the podcast. I'm gonna share the ticket, and we all gonna root for Charlie Touche to hit.
Before we move on to the drafts and stuff like that. What do you make of the Kendall Fuller signing? And again, shout out to 5 Yard Lee from the Dolphin UK podcast. He's been saying it for years. Chris Grier wants 2 veteran / elite cornerbacks. He just does. You know, especially the moment he got Byron Jones, that was it. He had Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. He then had Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey. Xavier Howard leaves, and people were like, "Oh, it's going to be Cam Smith." And Lee was like, "You even said it on the podcast, the Dolphins are going to get a cornerback. Like, what just the Dolphins are going to either trade or pick up a cornerback." People thought it might have been a Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs, but it was Kendall Fuller. What do you make of the Kendall Fuller acquisition and what it means for Cam Smith?
I think if it was the Sneed from the Chiefs, it meant they were out on Cam Smith. That's what I think it meant. So since it's Fuller, I think they're still in on Cam Smith. We got to have that, bro. It's a real thing. No matter, man, I've been saying it for years, bro. The Dolphins are just too top heavy at corner. You know what I'm saying? Like you need 5-6 corners on your roster. I need 4 of them to be legit. And shout out to Cater Cole, who chilling in the slot. That's his own. That's his, like, he's not going nowhere. He's locked in. He's going to get extended. You feel me? So that's you start 3 corners, right? You need another backup, bro. So whether Cam Smith is backing up for another season or he's going to get worked in a little bit, I believe in Cam Smith. Cam Smith was on the 2 Shades 24. 2 Shades 24 comes out before the draft. Like, we scout players, we like players, put 24 players on this list, and Cam Smith was one of them. Dolphins ended up selecting Cam Smith. I am a believer of Cam Smith. Who else was on 2 Shades 24, Kadeem, that the Dolphins selected?
This year or a few years ago? Like, there's
you might as well. I mean, just run through them. Who else they got?
Friend of the podcast, Javon Holland, like, was on the first that we published, 2 Shades 24.
No, I think it was the second. I think it was the second one. It was the second
one. Okay,
yeah,
fair enough. And then again, if you watch last year's draft live stream, and it happened twice. The first time, you get Roger Goodell go up to the platform, and with the 52nd or 58th pick, the Miami Dolphins select Cam Smith, and he got Charlie going, oh! And then next round, third round. In the third round, the Dolphins select Devon A-Chain. It's like, oh! Because, Devon A-Chain was on 2 Shades 24. Back-to-back picks in the 2023 NFL draft. The Dolphins selected guys from 2 Shades 24.
All I'm saying is, Kadeem, off of the 2 Shades 24 that are Miami Dolphins, Javon Holland, friend of the podcast, Devon A-Chan, they're legit, right? You give them B grades or higher on both, right? A-Chan could be a B. He wasn't healthy. One can argue they're both A's. Javon Holland's an A+. 20K Cam is going to deliver, bro. He's going to come up and he's going to show out, and it's going to be, why we even got Kendall Fuller? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's this season, but the fact that he isn't getting his opportunity is criminal, in my opinion, bro. And we're not there at practice. We don't see it, but I got to trust the organization, bro. I have to do it. I understand they haven't delivered on championships or deep playoff runs, but you can see the progress. So when fans don't see progress and they're just upset because we're not having results, it's like there are victories on the way to where we're trying to get to. And not everybody can be the Philadelphia Eagles that went 7-9 one season and won the Super Bowl the next. You see what I'm saying? So, or the Bengals that picked like first overall and made it to the Super Bowl a season later. You see what I'm saying? So there are, bro, it's like you go into the gym, you working out, you start seeing results. You feel me? So we're seeing results, but we're not getting to where we want fast enough. But the arrow's trending upward with this Miami Dolphins team.
So Jason Keck says fins up. And then Cat for Life says, so far we've got 2 main courses and a lot of side dishes. And I don't know if that's in free agency in general or at corners. But I think what the Dolphins are building in the secondary are versatile players. Like Jalen Ramsey said it back end of last season. I'm a DB. I'm not a corner. I'm not a safety. I'm a DB. I think we might not like it, but I think in Kader Ko, who the Dolphins have someone who they believe can play both inside and out. I think he should stay inside, but you saw him play outside last year. Kendall Fuller is another one, can play inside and out. Jalen Ramsey can play inside and out. Cam Smith can play outside. Don't be surprised if you see him inside. So all of a sudden, you go from a scheme and players who Xavier Howard on the left, Jalen Ramsey on the right. You guys are staying down here all game. There's no swapping. There's no following guys. To this year, you might literally see from the first snap, Jalen Ramsey's got this receiver, Cam Smith's got this guy, and Kader Cody's got this guy. And no matter where, or like Kendall Fuller, no matter where they go, you follow them. There's no messing around. And again, it might become too exotic, but at the very least, the Dolphins will be able to match with whoever they come up against. And having guys who can play both inside and outside is going to make a massive difference, I believe.
Kadeem, when we play pickup basketball, right? Maybe you don't play pickup basketball. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you play pickup lacrosse over there in England, right? Y'all play lacrosse.
Lacrosse
right?
is an American sport, or like lacrosse isn't a UK sport. Let's not even try that.
I don't know. So listen, when we play pickup basketball and it's game point, right? I used to always say this thing growing up. Game point, you feel me? Like, or it's game point for the other team.
Yeah.
Or it's going back and forth. Game point, right? You got to win by 2. Deuce it up. I used to always say, don't let your man win. Don't let your man win the game. You know what I'm saying? It's the last score of the game. Don't let your man beat you to win the game. And, it's like an intense thing and everybody's manning up and it gets real like, dang, boy, these boys going at it. That's what I see this year's Dolphin secondary looking like with the goons that we're about to have on the team. We did not even mention Jordan Poyer on this podcast yet, and we're 30 minutes in. Kadeem, I'm gonna say it right now. Nobody's gonna like it, but I'm gonna put it on air, and I'm gonna have the receipts to show for it. This defense is better than last year's defense. I understand Chubb is hurt. I understand Phillips is hurt. So yeah, at the beginning, probably not better than last year's defense. But this defense that is assembled with the addition of Chubb and Phillips healthy will be better than last year's defense. Bro, I can make the argument Fuller is better than Xavier Howard. And Jordan Poyer is a better addition than what Elliott was.
Yep.
Who played well, by the way. Elliott played. We was on this podcast. We didn't like that Elliott was like, bring in Lamar Jackson. And we gave him some stuff on the podcast, right? So, But he came in and he played well. So, you have an upgrade with Kendall Fuller over Xavier Howard, in my opinion. Then you have an upgrade with Jordan Poyer. Yeah, he's on the way out, but he's still better than Deshaun Elliott. This secondary is already better. So, yeah, you would want your interior to be a little bit better because you're banged up down there. But Zach Sealer performed better than Christian Wilkins as well, in my opinion.
Shout out to Joe Levesque. Says, what's up, fellas? Long time no see from GA. I like the move so far. Jason Keck says, now hopefully the DC knows what he's doing. And I want to get to this comment from Cap for Life. And I'm sorry, Cap. I'm going to have to correct you from the off. So Cap says, Charlie, I feel you, bro, but Grier drafted X in 2016. It's 8 years. Patience fills hospitals. We need results, not rebuilds. This all in needs to hit of its operation in 2025. Chris Grier did not draft Xavier Howard. Let's just get that. Let's get that straight. Chris Grier was in the building, but the GM at the time was Mike Tannenbaum, not Chris Grier. Chris Grier's first draft, where he was the sole GM and had final say on decisions, was 2019, and he drafted Christian Wilkins. That's the first guy who you can say is part of the Chris Grier era. Chris Grier did not draft X. So stop this. Oh, Chris Grier. No. Grier's been in the building for a very long time, and people don't like that.
Over 2 decades.
Yeah, and that's cool. But Chris Grier didn't get final say, we're doing this. Until 2019, when he became the sole GM. Before that, he was, 2016, Mike Tannenbaum had final say on, drafts and stuff like that. So I understand it, but yeah, Chris Grier didn't draft Xavier Howard.
I ain't gonna lie. When did Minkah Fitzpatrick get picked up? Was that Chris Grier?
2018.
Oh, it was 2018.
Oh, yeah. Because, so 2018 is...
And then
is Minka. 2019 is Christian Wilkins, and 2020 is Tua.
Okay. All right. Here, no there. But I will say this. No, that was a dope line. Patience fills hospitals.
Yeah, I like that. That was dope. I like that.
I'm not gonna lie. That was really good.
I would have a t-shirt.
Man, I forgot what I was gonna say. It'll come back. It'll come back. For sure.
Okay, quickly then. Joe also says quantity, solid players, and depth. 4 players we like. I think those dollars were not going to happen for us. So right move. Cap adds this window is 2020 game point match. We got ball. Joe says our depth is better for sure now on defense on all 3 levels. And then shout out to touchdown with Doug Smith. He said, "What's good, fellas?" Yeah. Was that a PM? No, it shouldn't be. No. Yeah, but yeah, Doug. If you haven't checked out your channel yet, so many interviews with draft eligible players, college players. Definitely go check that out. And yeah, but yeah, no, Jordan Poyer is a player who I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit salty about the pickup because I feel like he should have come last year, and for whatever reason he went back to Buffalo. But I think the fact that he is like it's a 1 year, $2 million deal. This is someone who's wanted to be in Miami for the best part of a year. He's finally arrived. Yeah, to me, it's a year too late, but definitely it's a case of, you know, Poyer, Holland. Again, there's some versatility in there. One like you can really show 2 high safety looks, but something going to come down the box, all the good stuff. And again, it's like I said, you have in Jalen Ramsey a DB as well. So all of a sudden, your secondary isn't made up of corners and safeties. It's made up of DBs. And quickly, shout out to friend of the podcast, Javon Holland, where people were tweeting about the Dolphins secondary. And I want to get this right because I don't want to leave out these people because clearly he didn't. But so Holland tweets a lot, and I love the fact that he tweets a lot. It's always quite funny, to be fair. But so someone tweeted Miami secondary. Jalen Ramsey, Kendall Fuller, Cam Smith, Kader Kohu, Nick Needham, Javon Holland, Jordan Poyer. And Holland responded saying Elijah Campbell, Ethan Bonner, and Suran Neal. And yeah, the Dolphins have, more than the Dolphins secondary. Fans might not want to see some of these guys on the field, but, that's just how it is. These guys are going to get snaps. It's rotation. Guys come in, guys come out.
We got to reach out to friend of the podcast, Elijah Campbell, see if we can get him on. Bro, listen, I remember what I wanted to say, Kadeem, and I'll say this. When you have the rookie contract, the quarterback on his rookie contract, you have 5 years to cash out. That is your cash out window. Like, you have to make it happen in 5 years or else it becomes extremely difficult. We wasted 2 years under Brian Flores. I still believe he was a good head coach. Go ahead. What you got?
You said that a few times, and I agree that he wasted 2 years. I kind of want to say he wasted 1 year because that first year he should have redshirted. Like Tua should not have played that first year. So I get that it was 2 years wasted, but I kind of want to play devil's advocate and say
I can give you that. He gets a mulligan. Cool. 2 years under Brian Flores, though. He did, and this is why I think Brian Flores, I want to be clear, I do not advocate for Brian Flores being the Miami Dolphins head coach. I love our coach. I love Mike McDrip. But I do believe Flores was a good head coach. He exceeded expectations multiple years in a row. I get it, right? But he set Tua back. He sabotaged Tua's career, and we're paying for it now. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because you have 5 years of that rookie contract. 2 of them were wasted. Look what happened in the past 2 seasons with Tua. 2 playoff appearances, 2 MVP conversations, whatever you want to call it, legitimate conversations. And then one was he was out with concussions. But bro, I always said on this podcast that you, with the rookie contract, quarterback on the rookie contract, you can go all in for 4 years. Well, not all in for 4. You could go in on 4 years and build around the quarterback. And that 5th year, if you want, you can go all in, put all the chips on the table and say, you know what? We believe we have the team. We're going all in. and we're cashing out this year. This is it for us right here. This is Super Bowl year in the 5th year. And this is the 5th year of Tua's contract. And I want to be clear. This is not all in. And I'm going to tell you why. The Dolphins have not gone all in this season. Like, you know what? This is our Super Bowl season. We have to make it happen now. I believe what Chris Grier and the Dolphins are doing is, you know what? We're not going all in this year. We still want to be relevant and successful years after this year. Unlike teams like the Rams, when they did it multiple times, like, yo, the Rams made 2 Super Bowls, they won 1, and then they became irrelevant after both of them, right? So I don't think the Dolphins want to do that. Because if they did, everyone we just lost, we would have moved some stuff around, kept it all intact for 1 more season, and then our team would have been decimated next season, can't pay nobody, and we would have been trash next year. But instead, what Chris Grier is doing is, yo, we don't have to go all in this year. We're going to be successful this year, and we're going to be successful for the next 3-4 years. And I respected it. That's his opinion. That's what he's going to do. Obviously, I don't know. I think I would have did it a little differently. I'm just, yo, I need it now. Let's do it right now. Let's cash out right now. But cool. I'm okay with it as a fan. I'm sitting back. I'm watching, popcorn ready. All that being said, man, I still like what the Dolphins are doing. You know, the opponents that we're playing this year on the 2024 schedule, I still see 11 plus wins, right? So I'm okay with where we're at, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Few comments. Again, if you're watching on Twitter, there's loads of you. Either jump on YouTube or comment, like, you know, it's Go Time Dolphins, for the fans, by the fans. Like, you want to get as much interaction as possible. We try and read as many comments as possible as well. Touchdown with Doug Smith. I can't keep saying touchdown. Doug says, I'm hoping we draft a wide receiver who has a bid a wide receiver 3, can push wide receiver 2 if Waddle goes down. He says Poyer is probably his favorite signing so far. Can't remember what the comment was that made Jason Keck said that makes him a bad coach. Something to do with Brian Flores.
Probably Brian Flores. I say is a good coach,
Yeah.
but he set Tua back. Probably means, well, that makes him a bad coach.
Yeah.
But the results was in the wins. Like, you still, maybe he's a bad, bro. He's a defensive minded coach. He's obviously, and then, you know, Sherrod Steve hit me and said, yo, results said he's a bad coach because he didn't do anything, right? We wasn't successful. But when you exceed and you're supposed to only have, like, you're supposed to be the worst team in the history of the NFL, no wins, and then you exceed that, you know what I'm saying? And then not only, like, you were still like, yo, this is a legit team. Then you go on an 8-game win streak that one year, I think. And then you're 1 game out the playoffs, threw the ball 40 times in the rain. Obviously, that's what happens when you're a defensive-minded coach. But I mean, I understand. If someone says Brian Flores was a terrible coach, terrible is a stretch. I probably wouldn't understand that. But if there's someone says he's a bad coach, I'm cool with it. I'm not.
Flores is hated on social media. I'm like, cool. Like, you guys don't like Flores. It's, again, I always find it funny is that, and I understand it, is he ruined Tua, but he also was the coach that drafted Tua. Probably never wanted him, but like, again, he will always go down as the coach who drafted Tua Tagovailoa. So it is what it is. But yeah, Doug says one of my favorite things about Tua that he gets better each year, and what helps is that Grier gets people on side who bring gets people on sell, so he bring mad value. Cap says, if you think about it, this is the same strategy we used from 2016. He says, and this year, what year we went to the playoffs? 2016 or 17? I think it was 16. Yeah, it would have been 16 with Matt Moore, the backup quarterback, because 2017 is the year that I met Charlie, and that was Jay Cutler. So yeah,
look at you.
And then a few more comments. Jason Keck says, still got to fix that O-line and we need depth for the injuries. It's March 15th. Free agency hasn't finished yet. The draft is still to come. Listen, again, if the Dolphins trot out an offensive line of Teron Armstead, I guess Liam Meikenberg at one of the guard positions, Aaron Brewer, Robert Jones, I guess. But yeah, and again, like, I don't love it, but it's the same way. Just like same way we don't have no offensive linemen, we don't have many wide receivers either. There's still time to.
I have to say this. We are big proponents of fixing the O-line. We've been screaming fix the O-line forever. But the Dolphins had the number 2 ranked offense in the league last year. There's still got to be. It means something. You know what I'm saying? It means something that the Dolphins trust their players, and your offense is the 2nd ranked offense in the league, and you can tell that it's a dangerous, sexy offense. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we keep saying O-line, but yo, we're balling on offense. That being said, if you get better help on the O-line, you could be balling even more, and then you might not be 2nd. You could be 1st and then blowing people out the water, and then you win the Super Bowl. So I get it. I'm still here on offense. I'd say this. Bring in Slant Boy. Bring in Michael Thomas. If you can find a way to bring in Michael Thomas and then just draft O-line 1st round, O-line 2nd round, I'm sold again. And I don't have my Chris Grier hat available, but I will find a way to throw in the conductor and conduct this train for real. But
we'll have to get a sign drop of like a train, like the like that's next on our list. We have to get that sign drop.
You got something for us before we go to bonus time?
Very quickly, Cap for Life asks, what year was the Unicorn Line?
Unicorn Line.
So I think that was like
what's the Unicorn Line?
It was like Juwan James, Pouncey Center.
Oh, that was the Tannehill. That was Tannehill.
Yeah,
that was
it's like
it was like 15. It was like 15.
Yeah, it was like the best 5 players only played like maybe 1 game and like limited snaps, and some people were injured and stuff like that. And yeah, Cap says Butch Barry, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like obviously Butch Barry made the line.
I'm assuming it's a good thing.
Yeah. Very quickly before we head to bonus time. Again, I've really enjoyed people saying that Chris Grier can't draft and that he needs to go. And then those same people saying, hey, the Dolphins have to pay Christian Wilkins and Robert Hunt all this money. It's like, tell me who drafted those guys. And when you tell me who drafted those guys, then tell me again that Chris Grier can't draft. You said it earlier about how the Dolphins aren't going all in. It's like, we both wanted, friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt, to stay. I wanted Christian Wilkins more than you, but also there was a limit. But the chances are, if they gave Hunt and Wilkins what they wanted, you would have had to say goodbye to Javon Holland, Jalen Waddle, and Jalen Phillips next year. And I'm telling you now, yeah, I'd rather have those 3 guys than Hunt and Wilkins. Just me personally. But we'll see how it all plays out, and it's going to be a very interesting few weeks.
So I met Robert Hunt, friend of the podcast, and friend of the podcast, Brandon Jones, in person, both by happenstance. And I also met 40 Acres and a Hellcat, Miles Gaskin, by happenstance. I was on the beach, met him. I was like in an Uber on the way to get a haircut and seeing Brandon Jones like on the side of the road. I'm like, hey, yo, turn around. You know what I'm saying? That's Brandon Jones. Like when Dante Culpepper was in Miami and Dante Culpepper had car troubles, we just kept going. Like, we're not stopping for Dante Culpepper. He doesn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But Brandon Jones, he wasn't in car. He didn't have no car trouble. I just want to clear it up. I just seen him like, yo, we got to turn around. I got to go holler at dog. Met Robert Hunt in the grocery store, right? All of these players, bro, are legitimate dudes. High quality character individuals, bro. And every time I come across one of these players, I'm like, yo, if this is what the locker room is made up of, we're in good hands. So this is like a best wishes and safe travels and get the money, get the bag, secure your future. Shout out to a friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt, and shout out to friend of the podcast, Brandon Jones, bro. We're going to miss both of y'all here on Go Time Dolphins. Man, wish we could have had you on, but yo, y'all boys be safe, be easy, man. We talk y'all up on the podcast all the time. And dang, bro, I wish we could have kept both of them. Like, I felt like a piece of me, like, no, bro, no, you know what I'm saying? But this is the game we play.
It's what it is, man. Like, there's a comment from Cap. I want to get to it in bonus time because I kind of feel like it follows on from what you just said.
Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So Cap says, I'm just fed up with this organization being a G League developing talent just to go elsewhere to get better. And it's like, again, I understand that. But even like I think Raekwon Davis got paid something like two year, like 18 mil or something. It's like the Dolphins aren't going to pay that. Listen, Robert Hunt, he got the bag. He even said it himself. The Dolphins weren't paying him 5 years, 100 mil. They weren't going to do that. And I understand it's because, they brought in a Tyreek Hill and a Jalen Ramsey and Teron Armstead. But I also feel that's what fans want. From where I'm sitting over here in London, and I could be completely wrong, I feel like Dolphin fans want and not all Dolphin fans, but there's enough for me to notice it. They want Chris Grier and every single draft pick from 1 to 7 to be an absolute stud, all-pro. Cool, great. And then they also want to spend the most in free agency and get all the all-pros. Cool, great. And then pay the guys you drafted. It's like those three things can't, that just all can't happen. It's the Dolphins are in a situation like, if you look at the talent we've lost and where they've gone to and how much they've paid, you would have thought the Dolphins had just won the Super Bowl. Like, all these guys have gone and they've got the bag elsewhere. And I get it. The Dolphins have back-to-back playoff losses. That's what they have to show for it. But again, it shows the kind of roster that Chris Grier, Mike McDaniel, and others have built. These guys have come in, again, Brandon Jones, Robert Hunt, Christian Wilkins. These guys have got the bag elsewhere because they could have doing really, really well. Yes, we want to extend them, but there's a price. And I'll pass on to you. I saw someone turn around and say, if I was these guys, I would take less to play in Miami. Dude, I'm telling you now, like, you just wouldn't. And I understand it because you're a fan, and that connection probably feels deeper. You've probably been a fan for your entire life. Go to whatever job you work in, yeah. When your boss says, I'm going to give you a pay rise, like, nah, I got you. Nah, it's fine. Like, I'm doing it for the job because I love this job. like you're not taking less. Like, if you genuinely expect Robert Hunt or Christian Wilkins to turn down like 20 mil, 27 mil a year to take less, you're smoking something. I'm sorry, you're smoking something. Whatever you're smoking, I don't want it because I ain't making the foolish decisions like
I don't
you.
want it. But I like the fact this is the only silver lining in losing Robert Hunt. Everyone gets to see his value now. All the Dolphin fans get to say, dang, I ain't know he was that. You feel me? Because if the Dolphins would have paid him $20 million a year, everyone would have said, oh, Dolphins overpaid. They don't know how to spend money right. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he got it, and he is one of the best guards in the league, like, it lets you know that, oh, you're not appreciated until you leave, until you're gone. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciated him while he was here. And I'm glad people get to see it now because he's like, yo, I'm sour that out of all the people we lost this year, not even just lost, like, bro, I really did not want to lose Robert Hunt. I didn't want to lose Brandon Jones either, but that Hunt thing hurt me.
Yeah. Cap says best intro, bro. Don't waste no time. And I'm not saying it because I'm sitting here. Find me a better intro than Go Time. So I'm just saying, like, it's impossible. The Great Fins fan says, real talk, Chris Grier has to go. Cap says, don't get me wrong, I would not have overpaid for these guys either. I'm just saying our history has not worked well in our favor when it comes to making moves like that. And then the Great Fins fan says he wouldn't overpay for them either. And again, it's like, people were saying before free agency they'd pay Hunt, 10 to 12 million, and then Wilkins 20 to 22. Hunt got paid 20 and Christian Wilkins got paid 27.5. But also it's like Cap says our history has not worked well in our favor when you come to making moves like that. I am not a 20, 30-year Dolphins fan, but I feel like everything the Dolphins have tried over the past 20, 30 years hasn't worked. When they went and paid Ndamukong Suh all that money and, that the team that they built that way, that didn't work. I don't know how often the Dolphins have tried to build through the draft and pay their guys, but if they had tried it, it hasn't worked. It just hasn't. The Dolphins have nothing to show for it. So at this point, do you really want the Dolphins? What do you want Chris Grier and the Dolphins to do? Because everything, and again, not Chris Grier, but the Dolphins organization as a whole, since 1972, I believe it is, nothing has worked. Just nothing. And at the very least, the Dolphins have the longest playoff drought in the NFL right now. So everything they've done over the past 24 years hasn't worked. It just hasn't. What I can say is that what Chris Grier has done since taking over as GM, he's built a team that done better than, I can't say over, it's succeeded right now. They've done better than they should in terms of winning games. And he brought in a coach who got a quarterback back-to-back on playoff appearances. They might have lost, but in my 8/10 years of being a Dolphins fan, the Dolphins have never gone to playoffs back-to-back. And Charlie, tell me in your lifetime, how many times the Dolphins got to the playoffs back-to-back?
I think a couple, actually.
Fair play, yeah.
but not of recent, obviously not.
Yeah,
obviously not. But here's my thing. Chris Grier is one of the best GMs in the league, honestly. And again, people won't appreciate that until he's gone. It's okay, bro. It's like one of those relationships things where you're not appreciated when you're here, but dang, that was a pretty good relationship in hindsight. I should have kept her. You know what I'm saying? And then you feel like an idiot. And then people don't understand that right now with Chris Grier. And it's all right, man. We gotta get up out of here, Kadeem, because we got some more stuff to record.
We do. So, guys, thank you for joining us on this one. Everyone on YouTube, everyone on Twitter. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the good stuff, leave a 5-star rating. We'd greatly appreciate it. Give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, Bumble, Hinge, High Five, all the social medias. And if you're feeling generous, you can leave a super chat on YouTube now. We appreciate that. Or join us over on Patreon /Go Time Dolphins. If you're watching this now and you're over on Patreon, we shall see you in a second. If not, we shall see you on the next one. Peace.